Afternoon, folks. Welcome to Wednesday. I burnt my pot again today. Boiling water. You know, that's just my life now. I boiled water for tea and didn't set a timer because I was not paying attention, and I started smelling like, oh, smells toasty. And then, of course, the pot was already dried and very hot. And so today we're going to start off this live by trying to clean this pot first. And then I have a sweet potato that Grandma didn't eat yesterday, and I really don't feel like chancing questionable food with Grandma's stomach, because that's more worth, that's more trouble than it's worth. And I, however, will always be okay with trying it on my own stomach. And I have the ability to reheat it until it's dead. So we're going to try to make like a sweet potato, cream cheese, egg white souffle thing. Maybe we'll steam it. Maybe we'll microwave it. I haven't decided yet. I don't think we're going to bake it because I don't want to turn on the oven. But that is what we're doing. So cleaning first. This pot has been through a lot, unfortunately, due to my forgetfulness. It's like pretty sad. But welcome to Hump Day. There are 2 pineapples on my stove that I had originally bought for Grandma consumption, but I don't think she likes pineapple anymore. So I'm just going to cut it up and freeze it and make smoothies with it. How's everyone feeling about Palestine? Feels very surreal. I feel very disconnected. I don't know what to do anymore. I think if we had believed in the facade of democracy last year and before that, hopefully more people can see now that it's not. All of the crackdown on freedom of speech is alarmingly like what people go through in China. All the censorship, all the random punishments, all the sudden arrests. It's not a democracy. And so, knowing that my parents did not want to stay in a country that had no free speech, and to see it happen in the country that they came to. IDK, y'all, IDK. IDK. This is a sweet potato that I took back from Grandma's today. I skinned it, I microwaved it. We're gonna zap it again. What up, Woodside Queens? We are neighbors. You probably heard the same bloop bloop that I just heard. Hi, neighbor. And, the U.S. is not just enabling. The U.S. is orchestrating this shit. All the real estate developments that are going up in a very recently destroyed by genocide land, and they're promoting it within our own communities now for people to buy this land. It's pretty outrageous. I'm just like laughing and crying. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to feel about this, but I don't even know if I can feel anymore, honestly. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel anymore. I've been kind of holed up in my own brain for the past month. Just processing a breakup, but it wasn't until I went live just now that I realized, oh shit, people are still dying, like in fucking misery. So, get a grip, June? So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I think we'd all rather see our tax money go to schools, libraries, healthcare. But as it's not a democracy, I don't think they care about what we want. And so the question now is, how do we make them care, and do we actually care enough to make them care? This isn't going to stretch. We'll move here. Puree the sweet potato. I'm going to plop in the open block of cream cheese that's been at room temp, and we'll add some gingerbread spices in and maybe some extra cinnamon. I don't know what I'm making, by the way. I'm just making this. Don't even ask me what I'm making, because I don't know what I'm making. I do know that I'm going to eat this cream cheese wrapper right now, though. Because never pass up an opportunity to eat straight cream cheese. I mean, I totally agree that we need to process things in our lives, in our vicinity. The whole thing about this is realizing that what's happening in Palestine is connected to what's happening here, is connected to what's happening everywhere. All the weapons are moneyed interests created by moneyed interests and traded for moneyed interests, and they kill people for moneyed interests. The same reason why people are dying in Palestine are the same reasons why we don't have healthcare in this country. longevity of movements. And how many people stay on board. Cream cheese and sweet potato. Free Palestine is now on so many Hinge profiles. And my first thought is, what are you doing to free Palestine? What is any of us doing to free Palestine? It almost like pisses me off to see it on people's profiles because I'm like, I don't know what you're doing to free Palestine. What are you trying to say when you put this on your profile? I don't know. I'm just angry. Don't mind me. Yeah, it is like the BLM movement and the performative allyship. It kind of like socially washes your hands in a way and displays your beliefs, but it's a dating profile. You're choosing to put it on there, so what does that say about you? Yeah, people are still urging us to call all of our representatives, but I've, to be honest with you, given up on calling my reps because they're just assholes who don't care, and they've historically taken money from AIPAC and all of these other lobbyists, and, you know, this is what they've made their entire careers on. I don't know. I just don't know. And what do you guys think? Does it help? Does calling still help? Does it do anything? Does anything do anything? What do we do? Gingerbread spice. More cinnamon. The collective is powerful. Right. That's kind of why I want to know what everyone else is doing. I want to know which action people are most on board with, because if there's anything that I've learned during unionizing is you can't do anything without everybody's consent, and you can't do anything without everybody signing on. And something as big as this, which is like not only taking on the US government, but basically taking on all of modern capitalism and the way that it's run off of death and industries of death. What does everyone believe in? I need to know, like, how many people are actually even aware of what's going on, and then how many people actually feel empathy and sympathy and motivation with what's going on, and then how many people are transforming those feelings into action. Like, what is the percentage breakdown of all of those? I learned that California Pistachios, which their PR reached out to me and offered me a goodie box for Chinese Lunar New Year, which included this bag of pistachios, as well as pomegranate juice, as well as Halo mandarin oranges, which I ate on the last live. I just learned that they've been basically lobbying for war against Iran. Not recently. This has been years. Years and years and years that they've lobbied for war against Iran. A whole country because of competition for pistachios. So this is $1 billion business asking for a country to attack another country to protect its profits. I'm gonna eat this because I've been given it, but I guess I won't be buying these products anymore. Every day I'm finding out all the dirtiness behind all these brands, which is fine. I'll just fucking buy everything from the farmer's market now, I guess. Which is like, everything's evil. So I guess when it comes to the non-necessities like pomegranate juice, I don't need it. We're gonna drink on this live today. I've been drinking a little every night. It's been nice. Yeah, I'm glad there's people basically trying to convince other people not to vote for Biden. I think that's possibly the most accessible action for Americans to take right now, maybe, but I don't know what that means. Even if Biden doesn't get reelected, who will? Okay, to our sweet potato paste with cream cheese and spices in it, I'm gonna add a little bit of flour. Measuring nothing, of course. Learning things about the world sucks, y'all. This is probably way too much flour, but whatever. Yeah, learning things really sucks. I can't really unsee shit, and then it affects how I live. But it could be worse. I could be dead. That's what I tell myself. So I have some egg whites that we're gonna beat into a meringue type, and then we'll try to fold it in here. I don't know how this will turn out. I've never attempted this before, so we're just watching an experiment unfold. Oh my gosh, it hurts kids' feelings. You know, one thing that I've noticed about watching all these videos from Gaza and watching Palestinian kids talk is like 7, 8-year-olds talk like they're in their 30s and 40s. The ideas that they have, the vocabulary that they have, the determination and the expressions that they're capable of. We are capable of so much more. We coddle. In America, we coddle a lot. A lot of people get coddled. This is the result of coddling. People just growing weak. I'm part of this too. I'm part of the weak. There goes my timer. I'm too lazy to go turn it off, so I'm just gonna let it run out, which is kind of a metaphor for my life right now. Flour is worked in. Alright. There are 7 egg whites in here. I don't know how many we'll need. Let me get out my hand mixer. Who are my viewers voting for? Are you guys voting even? I know some people are just like flat out, I'm not gonna vote. Alright, I don't know how many egg whites that was, but we started with a full jar and we're here. So I'm gonna guess like 4 or 5 egg whites. That sounds like too much, honestly, but... Oh God, somebody's telling us to vote Biden. This ain't the place, honey. possibly chose a bowl too small. You can vote however you want, but you also can't really make the people you want to win. So that's what I don't love about the US. It is basically, at this point, just mostly a performative democracy. You get the act of voting, but you don't actually get to vote for who you want or what you want for the most part. There's no education. Even when I attend local elections, I don't know what half the stuff on there means. All these like bills that or legislation that they're trying to pass, they're just asking me if I want to like divert funds to this school district with this many students in it, and I'm like, okay, but what are the pre-existing conditions? Like, what's changing? Like, if I vote yes, what's the impact? And if I vote no, what's the impact? They're just, everything is decontextualized. Nothing is actually meant to do anything. They just want to make you feel like you're doing something. But I don't know if you are. I don't know if I am. Not by their rules, under their system and their game anyway. I don't think you understand what I'm saying, Catherine. Even if I write the person who I want to be president on my ballot, he's probably not going to win because money is behind candidates and campaigns, and that's how people choose who to vote for. They're the ones who get airtime. They're the ones who get exposure. They're the ones who have corporations spinning all the media for them. It's a machine. I can throw an air balloon or a water balloon at the moving machine, but I don't think it's going to make the machine work for my favor. You know? Okay. Alright. Probably need a bigger mixing bowl for this. Half of the egg white is going in here to lighten up this load first. Don't have to be too precious about it this first round. Sacrifice some of the air bubbles, get it incorporated. I'm going to turn on the water in this pot, and we're going to try to steam this cake. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but we'll give it a try. So the people's politics are not the politicians' politics. That's something that I'm slowly starting to realize and learn, is that if we want to see the change happen, we can't work within the system anymore. The system is too far gone. We can either continue feeding into it, and the end goal of that would be to give it what it wants, or we can figure out a way to form alternatives. But as is, we are basically living under mob rule. Like, you know, when mobsters go around asking for safety money, all of that, like, that's what our taxes are. Our taxes are not for our benefit. It's basically hush money that we're paying to, like, not be punished by the mob being the government. And we just have to kind of operate under this mob rule while trying to make our own livelihoods as best as we can. That's what it feels like, at least. I didn't add sugar to this. Whoops. Let's add a little bit of powdered sugar. A little too late. I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract too. Definitely add your sugar earlier than this. This was a bad move. I don't know how long this is going to go for, so let's do 20 minutes for now. True. Reality is what we don't challenge. problem is when you challenge it alone, people do not like that. People really hate that. Because you're destroying a very simplistic way that they feel like works well enough. Life is a group project, and I do hate it very much. I made this random spice mix a while ago because I had to shoot spices, and then I ended up with all of these spilled spices that I didn't want to throw out, so we're just going to put some of our blood pistachios in here, toss it about, and have a snack. And then I'm going to carve our pineapples, half of which is molded already. Because that's the way life goes. I no longer know how to proceed. If anybody has tips on how to live life in this time, let me know. I'm gonna take my vitamins. Vitamin reminder for all of you. Okay. I'm not doing well, guys. Does that mean you all are not doing well? Conversation with you about philosophy and culture and current situations. Let's do it. We can do it right now. So pineapple used to be one of 4 fruits that Grandma loved. The other 3 being strawberries, watermelon, and persimmon. Lately she's been asking me for persimmon, but there is no real soft persimmon on the market anymore. They're all kind of hard and she can't chew them. The strawberries in the wintertime are too sour for her. And these pineapple apparently just were too acidic and ascorbic. So every day I go see Grandma is also another reminder of decay, death, decline, all of that. I feel like it's been just seeping in from all sides. The news, Grandma, thinking about my mom, thinking about my relationships, thinking about myself, thinking about all the failures, and feeling relatively hopeless. But still we continue. Oh my God. Some days, I don't know. Some days I don't know. Let's make a smoothie. Fuck it. I don't remember where Aaron got it, but Aaron recently posted on Instagram this, I guess, excerpt about how basically when you get to this level of intelligence and you develop space travel, you're never too far from societal collapse, because the advancement of technology is motivated mostly by two aspects. One is domination, and the other one is making life easier. And the first one just creates an environment where you basically accelerate towards complete destruction. And then the second one just makes you kind of like the people in WALL-E, you know? Makes you lose touch with everything, and the next thing you know, you're just on a chair, rolling yourself around, running out of things to do. So maybe the only thing we can do is to wait for everyone to slowly die off. I'm not losing hope in Palestine. I'm losing hope in a quote-unquote better world. We will continue what we can. But ultimately, I do still feel like it is kind of a zero-sum game. Some days it becomes more obvious. Lee, do you think that is a one-directional advancement? Are those all like sequential stages that you just listed? I do feel like I am moving through many of those stages. I don't know if, maybe it's like the stages of grief where you kind of move back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. I said let's make a pineapple smoothie, but I have no idea what else is going in there. Do we know if pineapple curdles with milk? I don't really have my homemade yogurt to use in either. Maybe we put some oats in there. Should we put some collard greens in there? Is that gonna make it so weird? That might make it too weird. Let's see. Ooh, let's use up a lime juice. That sounds good. Extra vitamin C. Also, these limes have been in here for way too long. Way too long. And let's add an apple in there too. Maybe I'll put my frozen banana in here. I don't think collard greens in a smoothie sounds too bad. I think it's basically equivalent to kale. But I don't know if I'm going to drink all of this today, and I don't want it sitting in there because green smoothies get a little bit extra funky as it sits. And there's a lot of pineapple in here. So I think what I'm going to do is blend the fruit, take some of it out, freeze it into ice cubes. That way I have some fruity ice cubes that we can use for my nightly drinks. And then we can actually make a smoothie with the remaining pineapple. Let's blend up this pineapple, lemon, or lime rather. Noise alert. There's 20 minutes on our steam cake. I'm a little scared to lift it, actually. Let me go 5 minutes more so that we have time to segment out our ice cubes. Pineapple juice always smells a little bit vomity to me. I don't know if this happens to anyone else. but it reminds me of vomit. The smell of lemon juice too. It must be an enzyme in both of these super acidic fruits that reminds me of vomit. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Pineapple cubes. Fun. Gonna cut up this apple. Thank you for the offer, Lee. I have no further questions for now, Your Honor. I'm gonna add that apple, and I'm gonna add some oats for thickness. There goes my silica packet. Whoopsies. A couple of collard leaves. Let's see. You know what? I think I'm going to pick the stalks as tribute. And some nastier, tougher leaves maybe. The stalks are a little hard to eat. Shape-wise, not really texture-wise. Okay. And then couple of banana cubes. Any spices? Do we want any? Oh, I think I have to turn this off. I think we're running out of water in there. Okay. Let's go in with a little bit of turmeric, just for extra health. And a little bit of ginger, because I think my period might be coming soon. God, I don't recommend having periods. We're gonna let that cake stay in there for 10 minutes while we sip on our smoothie. And clean up a little bit here. And then I'm going to go back and read some of your comments if you commented. We're going to double fist the smoothie and my alcoholic cocktail made with blood pomegranate juice. Everything is stained with blood in this household. Yes, elderflower liqueur. And I'm glad that you enjoy the banter in these lives. I hope it's not just me talking at a camera looking like a crazy woman, although I am a crazy woman. And that's okay too, because you know the times call for it. But it is nice to know that other people feel company in this craziness. I was kind of smiling / laughing / crying to myself yesterday about how I had heard of Saint Germain before, but I hadn't really like smelled it until I was invited to a game night by the friend group of my recent ex, and you know, I was being awkward and antisocial as usual, so I was just staying by the cocktail table, and I just started smelling everything, and I smelled this and I was like, holy shit, this smells amazing. Flowery, like lychee, clear and sweet. And now I have a bottle of it. And it's really weird when you end in a relationship because like it's basically like grief. It's a lot like when my mom died, and still now. Literally everything that I do, I think of her. And sometimes that's a souvenir, I guess, of sorts. These are the things you get to keep, not the person. I like it over ice at bedtime. Just like 2 tablespoons of it. I don't know if that's a shot. That might be a shot. That might be an ounce. 2 tablespoons is an ounce. You know what I forgot to put in here? Ice cubes. But I have ice cubes in here, actually. Refreshing. So then, my next question for you all is, are we our parents, yes or no? Oh gosh. That's a really pretty color. Might not seem that way on your screen, but it's nice. It's like a soothing green. It's less vomity in person than it is on camera. Not bad. Tastes better with kale than collard greens, noted. We are an amalgamation of all the absolute worst parts of our parents. We're an extension, we're a reflection, we're 50-50. Okay. So does that mean that no matter how hard we try to not become them, we will anyway? Is it kind of like the Oedipus myth, where the more you try to run from your fate, the worse your fate ends up hitting you in the face? Because I feel like if you just submit to your fate, and you're like, alright, I'm gonna kill my dad and fuck my mom, and that's my life, then at least you're expecting it. But if you have this illusion, this hope, this like determination to run away from this fate, and you do all this stuff in all of your life to not become your fate, and then your fate ends up happening anyway. Which one's better and which one's worse? Or is it irrelevant? What up, KCS? Sorry, I need more ice in here. You're getting so much noise today. Blender Sounds is owned by WMG. I don't remember making an barbecue sauce. Did I make a barbecue? Oh yes, barbecue kale. Yes, that I did too. For the vegan quarterly magazine that Delish was putting out. Man, tastes so much better with extra ice. Well, that was basically just like a tablespoon and a half of alcohol in my system. I don't know if you noticed any difference, but I certainly feel a little bit angrier today. Alcohol does do that. It amplifies my emotions quite a bit. The turmeric is noticeable. Not a fan, but I also don't hate it. Like, I know it's there and it's good for me, and that's what it's doing in there. But the question always ends up being, do I want to be good? Is that relevant either? Okay, so let's just say that I can't escape being my mom or my dad. I think my dad was not good with relationships, and mom was definitely like a very anxiously attached enabler. So I have both of these in me, and it makes me feel quite ill-equipped to be in relationships, and some friendships too, not just romantic ones, but platonic relationships as well. It's worsened by the fact that I grew up as an only child and then double an immigrant in my childhood. And not having a sibling around means that I had a very kind of cloistered upbringing with social dynamics. And now I'm reading up on all of these like autistic traits, and I'm like, And today I started reading this post about how like autistic people can sometimes spend their entire day in social situations trying to understand or gauge whether or not someone is saying things straightforwardly, at face value, in a literal way, or if there's a lot of subtext that we're supposed to be understanding. Like one example in the post was when someone comes up to you and says, "Is someone sitting here?" And you know, at face value, you just answer yes or no. Like, obviously, if the seat is empty, maybe you're waiting for a friend, maybe that's a yes, somebody is sitting here. Or if the seat is empty and you're not waiting on anybody, then no, nobody is sitting there. But sometimes, I guess it could be used as like an opening introductory / pickup line of sorts of like, can I sit here? Can I talk to you? Like, that's the subtext. And that post made me think about how I spent basically a decade with Aaron, and even at the end of that decade, I sometimes still had trouble figuring out if he was joking with me sometimes when he said things. Like I remember towards the end of us living together, I would almost every week, if not twice or 3 times a week, ask him, "Are you being serious right now?" Like, and not sarcastically asking, like literally asking him to tell me if he was being serious. So all of these factors combined, they do make interpersonal relationships very difficult for me, I think. But at least the smoothie is nice. And I never thought my issue was reading sarcasm, because I feel like I could be very sarcastic sometimes. But I have gotten so much feedback from mainly men, actually. But maybe women just don't tell me this. But especially in romantic situations and definitely in work settings, I've been told that I'm rude or that my tone is mean or something of that variety. And I understand that sometimes I can be mean and I can intend to be mean, but I've gotten this feedback sometimes when I'm just like very passionately talking about something. So does that mean that I can't express my words in a passionate way because that passion is read by some people as anger or rudeness or like a lack of courtesy? I think it's this lack of awareness concerning how other people perceive me. Maybe it is a lack of self-awareness as well, but it's definitely a lack of awareness of how others perceive me that is really wrecking me right now, because I feel like this is an immensely huge blind spot to have if I continue to be in social settings and I continue to like say things in a way that people automatically interpret as, oh, she's not like in a right state of mind. Yeah, the moss green is cool. I am drinking a pineapple, collard green, lime juice, frozen banana, oat, apple smoothie flavored with a little bit of turmeric and a little bit of dried ginger. I think that's all that there is in it. Probably should have added chia seeds. They are all straight-ish. One of them might have been like a little bit queer, like a little bit bi maybe. I never ascertained that aspect of orientation, but as far as I know in my interactions, straight, yes. Maybe this is why I have a lot of like gay male friends too. Maybe the gays don't find me as offensive, I'm not sure. Or maybe they're just like, she is a bitch. Okay. I don't know. I've also recently had someone who identifies as lesbian tell me the same too, though. So, the straight men narrative has been debunked a little bit by this additional data point. Or is it that in a romantic relationship, people expect you to voice and speak in a certain tone? Like, is it because I'm not performing up to that romantic partner standard of kindness? Is there like another special kindness level that I need to perform? Do I have to like code switch in romantic relationships? I'm honestly asking. I'm just starting to think about this actually. I've always assumed that all relationships should be founded in friendships. And that in a friendship, my ideal is that I would be allowed to be my genuine self. But if my genuine self is someone who hurts people, and I don't want to hurt people, I then either have to become aware of the way that I speak and come across and change it, or I just don't engage in relationships and friendships. I mean, I take everything that people say with a grain of salt. But I have kidney conditions and I gotta limit the sodium intake a little bit, but. See, that wasn't literal. I'm capable of non-literal speech. But I don't know if that was funny. Overanalyzing social interactions, ruminating and replaying scenes, thinking upon regretful decisions when it comes to social interactions has been a prominent feature in my brain. Here's the thing about taking what other people say with a grain of salt. Yes, that is the proper thing to do because we are all very subjective and none of us has a grasp on a agreed upon objective reality for the most part, unless we're sheeple, which we are. But concerning this particular topic with personal takes on personal interactions and dynamics, if I can't trust myself to be an accurate judge of what my behaviors are doing, because it's not just me doing the behaviors, it's also someone else that my behaviors are directed towards, intaking that behavior, interpreting that behavior, and judging it on a conscious, subconscious, and unconscious level. I'm not a reliable narrator anymore about my own goodness and performance and tone. Maybe I need to like watch back more of these lives, but that's also different, right? Because these lives, I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm talking to my phone. Yes, there's an audience behind it, but it's a very different setting and situation than when I'm talking one-on-one with someone else. So, guys, this is too complicated for my brain. Does anyone else ruminate like this? Please say yes. Don't lie to me though, but please say yes, someone. Thank you, Janice. Okay, we're going to see what's happening. Okay. She baked. Well, she steamed. She definitely also flattened. It looks like she rose and rose and rose and then poop. Do we think my core audience is just all masochistic? Are we just all twins? Are we just all kind of like spiritual cosmic twins? We're not twins anymore, we're like centuples. Since there's almost 100 of you here. Yeah, can we have a kink for overanalyzing? Because I would land so many partners that way. If someone has a kink for overanalysis, I am your girl. Holler at me. If you want to have a headache all day, every day about philosophical debates and ponder together what the point is of relationships, if all we're going to do is remind each other of how our deepest weaknesses are things we can't avoid because we will become our parents, yeah, you know where to find me. Cute! Should we take a picture? Since you said it's cute and picturesque? But what do we serve it with now? There's already cream cheese in here. I wonder if it tastes anything like a cheesecake. Probably not. Probably not. That's okay. I have heavy cream, but I don't feel like making whipped cream right now, but it would be amazing. I know it would be amazing, but depression era pie, yeah. Every pie that I make is depression era pie, okay? Fascinating texture. Wow. It's like spongy tofu? Spongy firm tofu? Interesting. It definitely needed more sugar than what I put in to qualify as dessert, but overall, not bad. It's a shame though, I can't really taste the cream cheese anymore. It's kind of lost in there. Condensed milk would be quite amazing, huh? What a mess. What a mess. Condensed milk. The salvation to everything. Okay. Why does it have to look so similar to jizz though? Oh god. Okay. It gives it a very almond flavor. It almost makes it taste like a almond extract cake. I'm a fan of it. Let's try another slice. Alright folks, after this I'm gonna have to go run to the library and pick up my 20 pages of printouts that is allotted to me every day, despite the fact that I pay taxes to fund a genocide. I only get 20 pages of free printout from my library, which is now closed on Sundays because budget cuts. The police are probably thriving on overtime, policing all of these protests, which just physically assaulted a kid in a wheelchair the other day in Astoria, so that's great. Wow. Cake isn't a disaster. Maybe Grandma will stop eating sweet potatoes and then we'll have to figure out more uses for all the shit she doesn't want to eat anymore or can't eat anymore. If you have any recommendations for a 96-year-old losing most of her teeth now and can't seem to chew anything harder than roasted sweet potato, let me know. She doesn't like vegetables. She doesn't like American stuff or flavors. Good luck. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. You take care. Don't get depressed like I am. Do your best.